Lindsay Jackson, who lost her mother to COVID and is part of the COVID bereaved families for justice group. Thank you very much, Lindsay, for being with us. And I just wonder, first of all, we've just heard from Boris Johnson and he says he's paid the fine and he's apologised. Is that enough for you?
No, not in the slightest.
What do you think he and Rishi Sunak should do?
They should resign. They're not ordinary citizens. Maybe paying the fine is what ordinary citizens should have done and then moved on with their lives. But these aren't ordinary citizens. These are the two most senior members of Her Majesty's government. Time was when the occupant of number 10 Downing Street and number 11 Downing Street commanded respect and were people to be counted with. That's all gone, hasn't it? I mean, this is a nonsense to be breaking the very rules that they made and that the rest of us followed assiduously is beyond ridiculous. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful that Johnson in particular lied to Parliament, lied to the British people for all those months. And now he's found out and he thinks, and the police, to give them their due, have shown no favour and have fined him. And what is his response? An apology. Little boys get away with apologising like that, as no doubt he did when he was a little boy. He's 56 years old. He is the Prime Minister of this country. He can't just apologise for breaking his own rules and carry on as if nothing's happened.
So
I'm sorry, it's not.
So what he is saying, Lindsay, is that it, and I quote, "It did not occur to me that it was a breach of the rules." That's what he's saying.
So, I mean, what can we make of that? Not only is the man a liar, he's stupid. You know, when you go to a party, he knows the rules. It even said no more than 2 people. Can he not count? It's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. He needs to go. He needs to summon up an ounce of moral fibre and realise that his time is up. This country deserves better, far better.
So clearly the rules or the laws in question no longer exist, but there were so many people in the country who followed them to the letter, did not have parties, certainly, but more seriously, much more seriously, you know, missed funerals, were unable to see their loved ones in their last moments. Just tell us your story. I gather your mother passed away in April 2020, and tell us, you know, what you could not see. Tell us what happened.
My mum had dementia, and by December 2019, we couldn't manage at home anymore. Her dementia had deteriorated such that we needed 24/7 care. And I found a lovely place for my mum to live, very caring people, a small home. She moved in there just before Christmas 2019. And she caught COVID at the start of April, just a few months later. She died a week after that. I wasn't able to see my mum for the last month of her life. I wasn't able to be with her when she had COVID and when she died. I wasn't able to pay my respects to her body. That wasn't permitted. She wasn't able to wear her own clothes. She was sealed in a bag. There were 7 of us at her funeral. I wasn't able to hug my own brother at the end of the funeral. We just went our own ways because we followed the rules. And the most personally damaging aspect of what Johnson had done is that I now feel I let my mum down. I should have been there with her. I should have had the temerity to break the rules. and be with my mom when she needed me. I think that would have been a more important reason for breaking the rules than going to a damn party.
But Lindsay, look, clearly you did not let your mother down. Those were the rules at the time. I mean, I just wonder, and take your time, because I know this is very difficult. I just wonder, the people now who are saying, some Tory MPs we've had on are saying, look, it's time to move on from this. What would you say to them?
I'm sorry, there seems to be some kind of bout of childishness breaking out amongst the ranks of the Tory party. It seems that you just have to say, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't know it was a party, to get away with it. And it also seems as though you can just say, we need to move on, and woof, there's COVID gone. They're crazy. 350 people died last weekend of COVID. 350 sets of families are bereaved as of this weekend because of COVID. Just wishing COVID away and wanting to move on does not make it so. Believe me, there is no one more than me who would like COVID to be gone. The thought that 350 more families are suffering today because of COVID hurts me. But you just can't wish it away. It is here. It is still here. People are still dying of it. And the people in Parliament and elsewhere in the country who think we should just get on, fine, let's get on. But when COVID has been subdued, it's still pandemic. It is still out of control.
All right, Lindsay, well, listen, we've run out of time, but there's a picture on the screen just now before we cut back to that, a picture of your scene on the screen of your mother, and yeah. I think you've done her proud. But thank you very much for talking to us this evening. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.